Well, happy Monday morning. A little bit later than I wanted to do this, but sometimes things happen. I do have a furry friend right behind me on the floor, so I got to be careful not to roll back in my chair. Um, but yeah, I do have a visitor here. Just can't see her on the webcam, but because it's not mobile, but she's there. And we're ready to start our week. Next calendar date on the schedule, June 27th, which was a Saturday in real world. And we're at Tiger Stadium. I usually go east to west, but since this was a game I played offline in the previous game, I felt getting them on in the video, on the live stream first made the most sense because you haven't seen this matchup yet. It is the Tigers and the Orioles from Tiger Stadium. Tiger Stadium not so good on singles, 2 for lefties, 1 for righties, but home runs pretty tempting. 14 lefties, 11 righties. Baltimore actually won this game real world 4-2. Tigers are 37 and 32, Orioles 29 and 44. But a pretty good pitching matchup today. Right-hander Mike Boddicker against the left-hander Frank Tanana. That is our pitching matchup today. Outside of Jack Morris, you could say that Tanana is the best Tiger starter, and unquestionably Mike Boddicker is the best Oriole starter. So not quite ace against ace, but not too far from it either. Hello, Dr. D. Good to see you. So we shall see. Let's see if I can get a little closer here, at least early on. We'll get a little closer, and I'll back it up as I run out of room. But anyway, Tanana, we'll look at him first. Frank Tanana on the 87 season, if you look at his card, was 15 and 10 with a 3.91 ERA on the real 1987 season. And so far on the replay, he's not performed up to snuff. He's 4 and 6 with an ERA of 4.76. So he's really had his struggles. 93 innings pitched, 100 hits, 21 walks, and 68 strikeouts. But perhaps going against the lowly Orioles is just what he needs to get himself straight. He is a +1 hold, and when you combine that with the +1 of Noakes, it's a +2 for Tanana. Boddicker is a +5 because Boddicker is a +3 and Van Gorder is a +4. So, and the Orioles are going with all right-handers in their lineup. There are no lefties in the lineup whatsoever. There are a couple of switches, but no lefties whatsoever. We got Ray Knight at DH. Rene Gonzalez playing third, Van Gorder catching instead of Terry Kennedy, Lee Lacy in right field instead of another option, and of course Gerhardt in center instead of Fred Lynn. All right, so I think all those preliminaries are out of the way to set up this game. And before we get going with the first pitch, of course we have the ceremonial first sip. That has become tradition on the channel, ceremonial first sip, for the morning games anyway. And that is some good coffee. Okay, we are ready to get going here from Tiger Stadium. Frank Tanana against Ken Gerhardt. Gerhardt hitting .230 on the replay, 8 homers, 22 driven in. He at .243 real world. 5'9", and that's going to be against a right-hander. That's a fly to center field. Chet Lemon hauls it in, 1 away. And something new I added on my score sheet. This number 10 and this number 20 are the games back in the standings. Detroit's 10 games behind first place Milwaukee. Baltimore's 20 games behind first place Milwaukee. Hello, Larry. Oh, thank you, Larry. I'm hoping it's time and rest. I didn't do any streaming yesterday at all. The video I did put up was a recording from the previous day, so I didn't do any. I did very little talking yesterday, so hopefully that rested the voice, that and just more rest and more time for this, whatever it was in me, to escape. So Gerhardt flies to center. Brings up Alan Wiggins, second baseman. He's hitting a whole-hearty 179 on the replay. A homer 11 driven in. He at .232 real world. 5-9, switch hitter, and it's the same result we just had on the first one. 2 5-9s in a row, and that's another fly to center. There used to be a time where I would not allow 2 dice rolls to be identical. I would re-roll the whole thing, but kind of figured it's just random chance at this point. So if we get 2 rolls that are back-to-back identical, we'll just let it ride. All right, here's Cal Ripken. He's hitting is it 253? 253 on the replay. 10 homers, 37 driven in. He hit 252 real world. 410, and that's going to be a pop-up to first, and Dave Bergman is right there. And it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Frank Tanana. Can't be much easier than that. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Orioles nothing, Tigers coming to bat. And for the Orioles, it'll be their ace, if you can call him that, but it's the best of a bad team, and that's Mike Boddicker. Mike Boddicker on the 87 replay was 10-12 with a 4.18 ERA. On the replay, he is 4-8 with a 5.31 ERA, 115 innings pitched, 126 hits, 42 walks, and 88 strikeouts. And leading things off for Detroit, pretty much as usual, will be Lou Whitaker. Boddicker is a 9 on his wild pitch, 0 on his balk, and again, +5 on the hold. So if Detroit wants to try to get a steal for a few players, they have certainly an ample opportunity to do so. Whitaker hitting 301 on the replay, 16 homers, 54 driven in. He hit 265 real world. 2-6 for Whitaker struck him out. So Boddicker off to a good start. 1 down, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Darrell Evans. Evans hitting 282 on the replay, 17 homers, 46 driven in. He had 257 in the actual season. 2-8, and that's going to be a ground ball to third. Handled over there by Rene Gonzalez, as Ray Knight is doing the designated hitting in this game. But 2 up, 2 down for Boddicker, and that takes us to Kirk Gibson. Gibson on the replay is hitting 328, 13 homers, 40 driven in. He had 277 real world. 4-4, and that's going to be a ground ball third base X. So Rene Gonzalez, 3E20 for Rene Gonzalez. 3-3, that's a bad start. 3-3 is going to be a base hit. That's a 6, and he is an E20 at third base. There's no 6 there, but it's going to sneak past Gonzalez for a base hit. And now Kirk Gibson might be getting his juices going with this chance to get a good lead against a weak holding pitcher and catcher. 5 or a 6 gets him the good lead. Doesn't get it, so he'll hold. And here comes Alan Trammell. He is the league's leading hitter, hitting 410 on the replay, 15 homers, 56 driven in. He had 343 real world. And he's had 239 at bats, so it's not early anymore. Oh, that red dot didn't make it, so we'll redo it. Again, 3-6, and that's going to be a single 1-7. That's a 3, so yet another hit for Alan Trammell. 1 base advancement, so Gibson stops at second. 2-out rally going by the Tigers. And here comes catcher Matt Noakes. Noakes hitting 306 on the replay, 19 homers, 58 driven in. He hit 289 real world. Clutch situation for Noakes, and in the clutch he will lose a couple of hits, 2-6 and 2-7. Also 3-5. But a 4-7 is a ground ball second base X. That's Wiggins, 4E15. That's iffy. 4E15 is iffy. 4-11, I think he'll get to it, though, but we got to worry about the E15. 4-11 is a G3. That's a 15. Is it a 15 and a 15 cause an error? No, it does not. He got lucky. On an E15, it's a 14, 17, and 18, but he's an E15, and that's a 15, so Wiggins makes the play. And Boddicker pitches out of the jam here in the first. We played 1 from Tiger Stadium, and we are still scoreless. It'll be Eddie Murray, Ray Knight, and Mike Young to face Tanana here in the second. Murray on the replay, hitting .305, 18 homers, 44 driven in. He at 277 real world. 1-3 for Murray, and that is a single to center field. First hit of the game for the Orioles. Solid single by Murray. No threat to run, though. And here is Ray Knight, designated hitter in this one. That's a 1, so Tanana, his wild pitch rating is a 5. No wild pitch, blocked by the catcher Noakes, so we drive on. Ray Knight hitting .232, 9 homers, 29 driven in. He at 256 real world. 6-6 is a single to right field. Sheridan is a -3 arm, so I don't think Murray wants to take any chances here. It'll be first and second. Nobody out. Here's Mike Young, left fielder, switch hitter, batting right-handed. Hitting .223 on the replay, 8 homers, 23 driven in. He at 240 in the actual season. So Tanana in some second inning trouble. 4-5, switch hitter batting right-handed. As a pop up to third, that's a good result for Tanana. It keeps everybody where they are. And Brookins will secure it for out number 1. Brings up right fielder Lee Lacy. Lacy hitting .289 on the replay, 4 homers, 15 driven in. He hit .244 real world. Tanana looking for the double play to get out of the inning. 4-7. Might get it. That's a ground ball, second base X. Whitaker's a 2E20. Not holding anybody on, so he keeps the 2E20. 2 and a 6, though, is going to be tough to turn 2. Be lucky to get 1. 2 and a 6 is going to be a fielder's choice. And that's a 10. Shouldn't be any problem on a 10, you wouldn't think. Nope, it's a fielder's choice. It's going to go 4 to 6 to get Knight at second base. Murray goes to third. Lacy reaches on the fielder's choice. The only play was to get the force at second. 2 outs now, clutch situation for Rene Gonzalez. And Gonzalez on the replay hitting .273, no homers, 4 driven in. He at 267 in the actual season. 6-9, and that's going to be a line out to Whitaker, and that'll do it. So Tanana pitches out of the jam as well. Both starters getting out of early trouble. Go to the bottom of the second, no score from Tiger Stadium. It'll be Pat Sheridan, right fielder, to lead things off for the Tigers. Sheridan on the replay, hitting .244, 3 homers, 17 driven in. He hit .259 real world. That's a 4-8 against the lefty. Struck him out. Second strikeout for Boddicker. 1 away for Dave Bergman. Bergman, the first baseman, hitting .269, a homer, 11 driven in. He hit .270. That's in the replay. On the real season, he hit .273. 5'10 lefty. That's a ballpark blast. He does have normal power. It's 1-14, and that's gone. Dave Bergman. Let's look at it again. Look at it again here. Close-up on the home runs. We do a close-up on the home runs sometimes. 5'10 is that ballpark blast against left-handers on Boddicker. Home runs are 1-14. He has normal power, and that's a 12. So that's gone. Dave Bergman puts the Tigers on the board. Home run number 2 on the replay for Dave Bergman. He had 6 on the real season, but this is home run number 2. Home run number 2 for Bergman, and the Tigers lead it 1-0. So power coming from a not so usual source. Brings up Chet Lemon. Lemon hitting .227 on the replay, 5 homers, 17 driven in. He is the Tigers version of Joe Carter, the ultimate underperformer, as he gets .277 real world. 5-8, and that's a strikeout for Boddicker, his third. So he follows the home run with a strikeout. And now that brings up Tom Brookins, number 9 hitter. Brookins hitting .243 on the replay, 4 homers, 22 driven in. He at .241 real world. 2-5 for Brookins. He's going to fly it to center. Gerhardt's there, but the home run from Dave Bergman, and the Tigers lead it 1-0. Orioles won the real game 4-2, but Tigers looking to change that as they need to win to keep pace with Milwaukee. They don't want to fall 10.5 back. It's going to get to the point. I know it's still only in late June, but you can get to the point where you're just so far back you can't catch up. So they don't want to. They want to keep them in their radar. Leading off for the Orioles will be little used Dave Van Gorder. He had 21 at bats real world with a 238 average and 1 home run. That was against the lefties. So you get the home runs in the lefty column here. On the replay, he has had 13 at bats, and he's hitting 308. No homers and a run driven in. So, of course, the sample size is obviously, skewed there. Let me do this real quick. Forgot to plug in the laptop, and it's giving me my low battery indicator, and I don't want to have the stream cut off because the battery died. So let me plug this in real quick. Tabby's still back there, just stretched out, resting. I don't want to disturb her one iota. Keep her quiet. All right, now we're back in business. So Dave Van Gorder, 5'7", and that is a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Trammell. He's a 1. We know he's going to get to it. Just checking the E21. And the only errors on E21 are 6, 15, and 17. Has to avoid 6, 15, and 17. And he does that very easily. So Van Gorder is retired, 1 away. Back to the top of the order, and Ken Gerhardt. Gerhardt flew to center his first chance. That's when I rolled 2 consecutive 5-9s. Hopefully we won't do that again. 4-8 instead, which is a strikeout for Tanana. That's his first strikeout of the game. Tanana with the first strikeout. There's Alan Wiggins. He also flew to center on that 5-9 result. 5-8 this time, which is another strikeout. So Tanana coming back with 2 strikeouts. A very impressive shutdown inning there. 1, 2, 3. Go to the bottom of the third. Still 1-0. For the Tigers, it'll be top of the order. Lou Whitaker leading things off against Boddicker. Whitaker was a strikeout victim his first time up. Kathy, I fully agree. If you're going to have Trammell there, you got to have Whitaker there. They're 2 peas in a pod, in my opinion. 4-6, and that's going to be a base on balls. That's the first walk issued by either pitcher. And now with that +5 hold rating, Whitaker is going to attempt to get a good lead. Needs a 4 or a 5 to do so. And he just missed it. So he can't get the good lead. That'll bring up Darrell Evans. 3-8 for Evans, and that's a 1-10 single. That's a 12, so he lines it to Wiggins at second base. And there's 1 away. Only run of the game is a Dave Bergman solo home run in the second inning. Here's Gibson. 4-11 for Gibson. That's a fly ball right field X. We're checking Lacey. He's a 4E10. 4E10 for Lee Lacey. 4-1. That's going to be a double, if not a triple. The double die is the 1. That's going to be a triple. 4-1 is a TR3 there. It's a triple. And that's a 12. See if Lacey makes any errors there on an E10 with a 12. There is no 12 there, but it's going to be a RBI triple from Kirk Gibson. Whitaker scores. It's 2-0 Tigers. Gibson had 3 triples real world. This is his 4th triple in the replay. RBI triple from Kirk Gibson. Now the infield is going to have to come in for the Orioles to try to choke the runoff with 1 out. Tough deal with Alan Trammell at the plate to play in, but they really don't have a whole lot of choice. Hello, Dan. Good to see you. That's a 5-8, and that's a strikeout for Boddicker. That's a huge strikeout, his 4th. Now the infield can go back to normal. And if Boddicker can get out of this with just 1 run allowed, he'll be happy. Here's Noakes. Noakes grounded out his first time up. Boddicker does have a 9 wild pitch rating, so he's got to be careful about the wild pitches. Nothing there. Noakes 1-6, and that's a home run 1-10, and that's gone. We'll do a close-up again. Do our close-up of the home runs. Matt Noakes on a 1-6 is a home run 1-10 against right-handed pitching. And the double die, once again, is a 2. So that's gone. 2-run home run for Matt Noakes. And the Tigers starting to blow this open now. It's now 4-0 on the home run from Matt Noakes. 2-run shot. And for Matt Noakes, we'll get his totals here. For Matt Noakes, that is his 20th home run of the replay. RBIs 59 and 60. He hit 32 home runs real world. So home run number 20 for Matt Noakes is 4-0 Tigers. And here's Pat Sheridan. 5-8 lefty is a strikeout for Boddicker. So he strikes out 2, but in between gives up 3 runs. And it is now 4-0 Tigers after 3. But Cal Ripken Sr. doesn't have a whole lot of options in the bullpen, so he might as well stick with Boddicker as long as he can. So the Orioles had their work cut out for them, down 4-0 to Tanana. And they'll bring up Cal Ripken. 3-11 for Ripken, and he flies it to center field. Chet Lemon right there, 1 away. That'll bring up Eddie Murray. Murray singled his first time up, but was stranded at third base. 110 for Murray. That's a ballpark blast for Eddie Murray. And that's gone. Barely, but it is. We'll do the close-up once again. Eddie Murray, switch hitter, batting right-handed. So a 111 against the lefty, or 110 against the lefty is the ballpark blast. You can hopefully see that clearly if this thing ever focuses. Come on, give me something here. There we go. 110, ballpark blast against the lefties. Ballpark home run, since he is a switch hitter batting right-handed, is an 11. Double die is an 11. So right on the nose, right there. It's a solo shot for Eddie Murray, and the Orioles are on the board. Cuts the lead to 4-1. Eddie Murray. Home run Murray. And for Murray on the replay, that is home run number 19. He had 30 of them real world. Home run number 19, RBI number 45 for Eddie Murray. That'll bring up Ray Knight, designated hitter. 3-8 for Knight, and he's going to draw a base on balls. That's the first walk issued by Tanana. And that'll take us to Mike Young, switch hitting left fielder, batting right-handed. 6-8, and that's going to be a fly to left field, 2 down. Forgot to do the havoc roll there, but I don't think that's any big deal. We'll just say that was the havoc roll, and it wasn't a 1 or a 2. So, all right, here is Lee Lacy. .412 against a right-hander. Ground ball first base C, so Bergman will get it and flip to Tanana covering. And the Murray home run does put the Orioles on the board, but they still feel like they're quite a bit back at 4-1. Particularly with the Tiger offense, you know they're going to score more runs. So here's Bergman, and he hit the home run that got the scoring started. Hello, RJL. Happy birthday to you. And it's not my fault that you spent money on History Maker Golf and took it out of storage. That's not my fault. That was your decision to do that. I didn't twist any arms. All right, here is Dave Bergman. He homered his first time up. 3-5, and that's a ground ball to first. Murray takes it to the bag himself. 1 down. And here is Chet Lemon. I did watch some of your thing there, RJL. You may have, I think you recognized the mistake, but you went with it anyway. When you were doing the scores in the third round, the dot was actually the lower score and the blank was the higher score. You had it reversed, but you were consistent the whole way. So I think you just stuck with it at that point. But yeah, when you do those scores, um, like if you're checking if somebody has a 204 or a 205, the dot would be the lower score, the blank would be the higher score. And but that's okay. I mean, it's no big deal. Like I say, you're not running a tournament or a season or anything. It's just a kind of a one-off thing to have some fun, get back into it. So that's the whole point. All right, Chet Lemon, 1-9 for Lemon, and that's a solid double right there, clean as can be. Chet Lemon, 1-out double. And that's going to send up Tom Brookins. That is a 110 for Brookins, and that's a ballpark single check, which is not going to work too well. It's only a 1. So he will just pop it up to Eddie Murray. 2 down. Now it's a clutch situation for Lou Whitaker. With Lemon at second and 2 outs, Whitaker in the clutch against right-handers will lose a couple of hits. Actually lose 4 of them. In column 3, he loses 2, 9, and 10, and in column 2, he loses number 10. Boddicker trying to keep the score right where it is. 3-11, and that's a ground ball to third. Gonzalez is there, and that ends the inning. Yep, it is a fun game, and I've discovered that, and it's I won't say it's addicting, but it's awful close. Once I get into it, especially now that I'm into a season where I'm tracking points and everything like that, that's where it can get addicting because I love keeping statistics like I do in baseball, just tracking stuff like that and tracking the flows of a season to see how one golfer does from one tournament to the next. To me, that's a lot of fun. I've never been much on the one-offs. I've always liked to have seasons. All right, so Rene, that's regardless of the sport. All right, here is Rene Gonzalez. Line to second base his first time up. 5-2. It's a ground ball first base C again. So once again, Bergman will field it and flip to Tanana Covery. 1 down for Dave Van Gorder, the catcher. 3-7 against the lefty, struck him out. For Tanana, that is strikeout number 3. Brings the top of the order in Ken Gerhardt. Yeah, I did see that I went on their website just to check something, and I did see the mat had sold out. So I'm glad I got it when I did. It does make it a whole lot easier. I figured if I was going to dive into it, I wanted to have all the amenities so that my feeling for the game didn't get skewed by not having the proper materials. So figured that was a must purchase. Here's Ken Gerhardt. That's a 3-4, and that's going to be a fly to center. In fact, the golf mat is what I'm playing on right here. This background, you can't really see it on the stream, I don't think, but this score sheet here is laying on the golf mat upside down. Just turn the golf mat upside down, and there you go. All right, 3 up, 3 down for Tanana here in the 5th. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 4-1 Tigers, seemingly in a comfortable position. And Darrell Evans, the batter. Darrell Evans. And Evans, his first time up, or actually he's 0 for 2. So he's the third at bat. 2-5 for Evans, and he grounds it to Eddie Murray at first base, 1 away. So Boddicker appears to have settled in a little bit. Here's Kirk Gibson, who tripled his last time up. He's on cycle watch because he got single and a triple and 2 for 2. If he gets a double or a home run here, he'll definitely be on cycle watch. 6-8, but he's going to fly to right, so that might curtail that because he may not get 2 more at bats. He might only get 1 more at bat. They flew to right field, where Lee Lacy hauls it in. 2 down for Alan Trammell. 2-3 for Trammell. That's a line out to Gonzalez. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Boddicker. Boddicker has retired 7 of the last 8 he's faced. But like so many of his starts, he's not getting a whole lot of run support either. So top of the 6th, this is the fatigue inning for Frank Tanana, so we'll keep an eye on his fatigue. And he'll be facing good. I need to find that RJL, because I do want to have that for next. If I do a season next year, I want to be able to have that course that they're playing at. So I would like to find that wherever the Google Drive is, whoever it's under or whatever. I don't know how to find that stuff. I don't know if it's on the free stuff on the play site or whether it's somewhere else. I don't know. Here's Wiggins, 3-4 against the lefty. He's going to line out to short. Remember, in the 6th inning, so no pinch hitting allowed just yet. Usually like to hold off until the 7th unless there's a pitching change. So here's Cal Ripken. Ripken, 1-8. That's a 1-4 triple. That's an 8. He'll settle with a double. Double for Cal Ripken. Oh, thank you for that link there. I'll definitely go to that when the game is over, so I can see about maybe downloading some of those things. I'm also looking for the course that they play the next to last tournament in at the BMW Championships, which that's in the playoff scheme. That's one that moves around all the time, and the one they're playing at in 2025, the one they played at 2025, is not available by play. I think it's a course in Maryland somewhere. All right, here's Eddie Murray. Homered his last time up. Got Ripken at second, 1 out. 6-2, switch hitter batting right. As a ground ball shortstop X, we're looking at Trammell. We'll roll the D20 this time, because even though it's a 1, it could move the runner up, so we will roll the D20 just to make sure that's a 1, so the runner's going to probably advance to third on that. Good thing he's a 1 shortstop. 1 and a 1, he's not being held, so it is a G3, and the runner will move up. That's an 8, and he is an E21, and the only errors on E21 are 6, 15, and 17. So it is a ground out to Trammell, but with that double die being a 1, Eddie Murray is going to go to third base. So apparently a very slow hit grounder, and Murray was able to go to third on it. But there's 2 away for Ray Knight. Yeah, I got to figure out where if I can find that course, RJL, or I'll just have to pick another one. All right, here is Ray Knight in the clutch for Ray Knight. And in the clutch against lefties, he will lose a hit 1-9, 3-5. 5-9, though, it's going to be a fly to center. That's that old one they used to start the ball game with, that double 5-9. So the 5-9 again. Fly to center. Tanana only giving up 1 hit, so he keeps endurance into the 7th inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still 4-1. And I don't know what the weather is out in you guys' area, but we are in the beginnings of a 3-day heat wave. It's supposed to be 94 today, 95 tomorrow, and 97 on Wednesday. And then rain comes in, it drops back to 71 on Thursday. So schizophrenic weather, to say the least. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, and it's Matt Noakes, who homered his last time up. Oh, thank you for checking for me. Thank you. I definitely will need that. Caves Valley, I definitely want that. I will print that one out if nothing else. So I have it ready. All right, here is Matt Noakes. 2-6, and that's a solid single for Noakes. He's 2 for 3. Boddicker's fatigue is next inning, so not worried about fatigue right at the moment unless he gives up a bunch of runs. Noakes is on. Here's Pat Sheridan. Sheridan is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. 5-8, and he's going to strike out again. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet, so the hat trick for Pat Sheridan. Strikeout number 6. Boddicker. So for whatever reason, Boddicker has shared in his number. And it's not 8675309 either. All right, here is Bergman. That's a 5-8, and that's a strikeout. The dot's there, but once again, he is not tired, so the strikeout is good. Strikeout number 7 for Boddicker. Here's Chet Lemon. That's a 2, Balker pass ball. We're looking at a pass ball on Van Gorder, which is an 8. And no pass ball. Here's Lemon. 5-10. And that's a ballpark single check, which is not good. It's only a 1, and that's a 16, so he will fly to center and end the inning. So Boddicker still pitching very well after that bad third inning, but not getting any run support to make him feel any better about it. We go to the top of the 7th. 4-1 ball game. Tanana only gave up a double in his fatigue inning, so he's still good to go. And let me see here. I might need to back this up 1 notch because we're starting to lose the peripheries here. So make sure we don't do that. All right, so Mike Young leads things off. That's what the Dionne Warwick sang, RJL. Here's Mike Young, 4-8. And that's going to be a strikeout for Tanana. There's a dot there, but he has not reached his fatigue level. So strikeout number 4 for Trent Tanana. Here's Lee Lacy. 2-11 for Lacy. That's a ballpark single again. That's not going to work. Lines it to short. 2 down for Rene Gonzalez. That's a 3-3 against the lefty, and that's a pop out to third to end the inning. So Tanana keeps endurance into the 8th inning, no question about it. We're at the 7th inning stretch. 7th inning stretch here at Tiger Stadium. It's still 4-1, but we're moving along so good. I don't feel like we need to have a 7th inning stretch. The coffee is actually still warm, so because this game has progressed pretty quickly. Yes, Chuck, there's a fluffy cat right behind me. I think I'm going to try to take a picture real quick. Let me take this picture. I'll do that in the 7th inning stretch. For my 7th inning stretch, I'll take a picture of you know who, if I can get a good picture to say what she's doing here. If I can get it. I might do it this way. See if I can do it this way. See if I can do it in relation to where I'm sitting. Maybe that might help. So you can see the proximity that we're talking about here. That way I can get my chair in the thing here. See how this looks. Yeah, not the best picture world, but it does show. It does show. So there's where she's sitting. You see my chair right there. You can see she's directly behind me. She is directly behind me, and she's impervious to what's going on. She knows the Tigers have it in control, and she's not worried about it. So she is just having her good old time. And, of course, my little blue chair, office chair that I sit in when I play. So that's what's going on there in that world. She might be asleep. I think. Oh, I haven't heard any snoring, so that's a good sign, I guess. All right. So let's move on to the bottom of the 7th here at Tiger Stadium. Mike Boddicker trying to hang in as best he can, but just not getting the run support for him. He'll be facing for the Tigers Tom Brookins. number 9 hitter, followed by Boddicker. I'm sorry, followed by Whitaker and Evans. Brookins 0 for 2. 1-8 for Brookins. Now he's 0 for 3 as he grounds it to Ripken. So 1 away. So Boddicker certainly deserves, you would think, a better fate, but looks like he's not going to get one. He's about to drop 4 and 9. Here's Whitaker. 2-9 for Whitaker. That's another walk issued to Whitaker. Boddicker has walked 2, and both of his walks have been issued to Whitaker. And Whitaker, of course, with that +5, is still tempting to get a good lead, so he's going to try to do so, and he does not. That'll bring up Darrell Evans. Have not been any Giovanni's double plays in this game. In fact, there's been no double plays, period, but Boddicker could certainly use one right about now. .212. That's a Lomax plus injury. Well, they get the double play, but it's not the Giovanni's Tailor Shop double play. It's a Lomax double play. So we'll do a close-up of that on the .212. Right-handed for Darrell Evans. .212 is the Lomax plus potential injury. So we have a double play for sure. And now we're going to see. So it's a 4. I caught the mute button right before I was getting ready to sneeze. Fortunately, the sneeze held off, so it was a false alarm, but I didn't want to sneeze on you guys. So it's a 4-4-3 double play. Now we'll check to see if Evans is injured or not. 1-6, he can stay in the game. 7-20, he's injured. He's going to have to come out. So Evans will come out, but unless his turn comes up in the order again, he's the DH, so it may not even matter. So I might just leave him in the game for now until his at-bat comes up, because he may not even be like he's injured. But the double play gets Boddicker out of the jam, and we go to the 8th inning. Score still 4-1. Pitcher's best friend, as they say. So we go to the top of the 8th, and we will get a pinch hitter for Van Gorder, no question about it. Definitely not having him hit this late in the game. Orioles will go to their bench. Let's see who they got on the bench that's any good. And hopefully that's right-handed. Let's take a look at the active bench players they have. They have one right-handed pinch hitter, and he's terrible, and that's Rick Burleson. So we're not going to use him. They're going to have to go to a lefty. Which lefty do we go to? Do we go to Larry Sheets? Do we go to Fred Lynn, Jim Dwyer, or Terry Kennedy? Kennedy is going to come in to catch. So I think we're going to have Larry Sheets. I think has the best luck against lefties. So Larry Sheets is going to pinch hit for Van Gorder. And then Terry Kennedy is going to come in to catch. So Sheets, the pinch hitter, here in the 8th. And then Kennedy will catch in the 8th. So Larry Sheets, let's get the numbers on Larry Sheets, both on the replay. I know Rick Burleson is right-handed, but I just can't pinch hit with him in good conscience. So we go to Larry Sheets. Sheets hitting this is very interesting. He's hitting .316 on the replay with 10 homers, 25 driven in. He's hitting .316 on the actual season. So although his home runs are a little bit down. It may not be too bad. A little bit behind. He has 31 real world. He's only got 10. So here's Sheets. 3-3 for Sheets, and that's a ground ball to Whitaker. And that's 1 away. For those that were curious, had we done Rick Burleson on a 3-3, he would align to Brookins at third. So not much you can do with that when everything's a Kobayashi Maru. It doesn't matter. So Sheets is out of there, 1 away. More importantly, Mr. Tanana might be going for a complete game. Here's Ken Gerhardt. He's 0 for 3. 3-7, and he's going to get a single, though. It's anti-clutch, but we're not in a clutch situation. So Gerhardt does get a single. He would normally try to steal, but down 4-1, I just don't see that happening. So he will hold right where he is for Alan Wiggins. 6-3, switch hitter batting left, and that is a ballpark single check, which again is not good. Only a 1. So he will line it to short. 2 outs for Cal Ripken. Ripken doubled his last time up. That's a 6-3. Same exact result again. Ballpark single, and again, it's another liner to short. That's the second time I've rolled the same thing back to back. I did it start the game on a 5-9, and I've done it here 6-3 back to back. And like I said, in the old days, I would have re-rolled that, but I'm allowing the duplications now, figuring that's just part of randomness. It happens to come up twice. It comes up twice. So Tanana's going to the 9th inning trying to get that complete game. Although Willie Hernandez will be ready if needed in the bullpen. Boddicker also going for a complete game. Might have another double complete game. Now, Terry Kennedy is now in the catch, so I need to do that on the computer. It's not going to let me continue. So let's bring in Terry Kennedy to do the catching. And then we can proceed. And it will be Kirk Gibson to lead it off. Single and a triple, 2 for 3, followed by Trammell and Noakes against Boddicker. 2-11, and that is a ballpark blast for Kirk Gibson. 1-14, but that's a 20. Wow. Suppose he had had a double here, he would have had a chance for the cycle, and he would have lost the cycle on a D20 roll. So I'm kind of glad he didn't get that. Just a deep fly to right field for Kirk Gibson. Just got up under it. 1 away for Alan Trammell. 1 for 3 also for Trammell. 3-7 for Trammell. Let's see here. Fly to center. 2 away. And that'll send up Matt Noakes. Matt Noakes. 4-11. And that's going to be a fly ball right field X. We're looking at Lee Lacey. 4-7. That's iffy. I think that's going to drop, actually. 4-7, I do believe drops. Yes, it does for a base hit. That's a 10. And he's an E10. So there's no error there, but it will drop in for a 2-out single for Matt Noakes. He is now 3 for 4 on the game. And here comes Pat Sheridan. He has the hat trick. Can he go for the golden sombrero is the question. He is standing in the way from Boddicker in a potential complete game. Noakes no threat to run. 6-5, lefty, fly ball to left. That's going to end the inning. At least he didn't strike out. So Boddicker, he's going to go with 8 innings. He's going to give up 8 hits and 4 runs, all earned. He ends up walking 2 and striking out 7. So now Tanana's going for his complete game, and he'll be facing Murray, Knight, and Young here in the top of the 9th inning from Tiger Stadium. 4-1 Tigers. Trying to start the week with the win and pulled within 9.5 games of Milwaukee. They're currently 10 back. Baltimore's 20 back. So here's Eddie Murray. He has singled and homered, 2 for 3. That's a 5-7, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop X, so we know Trammell's going to get to it. He has to avoid, as an E21, he has to avoid 6, 15, and 17. Those are the 3 numbers to avoid. And he does that quite easily. So easy play for Trammell. Murray is retired. 1 away. And that brings up Ray Knight. There's really not much on the bench to use as pinch hitters. The only decent ones are all left-handed. So I'm going to stick with Knight. Knight is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. 6-6, and that's going to be a solid single to right field. So now Willie Hernandez continues to toss in the bullpen just in case as Ray Knight gets the base hit. Here's Mike Young. Tanana has scattered 6 hits so far. 1 run, 6 hits for the Orioles. So to date, And here's Young. That is a 2-6 for Young. And that is a Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play. What a way to end the game. Ground ball shortstop A. We'll do the close-up of the Giovanni's. When we get a Giovanni's, we'll do a close-up as well. 2-6 against the left-handers. Ground ball to short. The plus is irrelevant in this case. Ground ball shortstop A. It is going to be a 6-4 to 3. Trammell to Whitaker to Bergman to end the ball game. And Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play in Giovanni's Tailor Shop in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. If you were there, stop by. Tell them Demo sent you. They will give you a discount. They are the unofficial sponsor of the channel, but the official sponsor of the Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play of the game. And also player of the game, no question, Frank Tanana. Complete game victory. He improves to 5-6. Boddicker drops to 4-9. So a double complete game, as it turns out. And we will go to the box score to get the full effect of this and get you ready for tomorrow's game. See who's on the schedule, because I don't know that yet. I haven't picked the game yet. So we go to the box score. And poor Mike Boddicker just can't catch a break, as it would seem. So for the Tigers, 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Pretty clean game, actually. Orioles, 1 run, 6 hits, and no errors. Tanana walked 1, struck out 4. So pretty clean game. Noakes was 3 for 4 for the offensive side of the house, but it's kind of hard to overlook a guy who pitches a complete game in this day and age, only allowing the 1 run. So Tanana goes to 5-6. Tigers improve to 38-32. And let's see how they're doing compared to real world. How do they do in real world at this point? Real world at this point in the season, they're exactly where they're supposed to be. They were 38-32 real world. So they're right where they were in real life. However, the Brewers are 11 games better than they were real life. So that kind of, makes a difference, as they say. I don't know if I can get this to go over this way. I'm going to try it. We're going to try something here, folks. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'm going to try it. We'll see if it does or it doesn't. Let's see here. It might be a disaster. I'm not sure how far I can get this thing to go. Let me see if I can get it to come over here. There she is. There she is. Live on the camera. There you see her. She's right there. She got a little her rest going here. You can see where she threw up one time right by where her feet are. That's where she threw up a fur ball. I'm waiting for it to dry up. I think it's dried up now. I can clean it up enough now where it's dried up. But yep, she's just having a good old time there. No question about it. So let's bring it back to our table. But just thought I would. That way, for folks that stuck around to the very end, you got a cameo there. So, anyway, Fluffy Cat, the Fluffy Cat channel, as Robert likes to call it, if Robert's still around. We'll get this straight here. Let me go to the Strat computer and see who's coming up tomorrow. Boy, I'm all out of back here, aren't I? Get this turned around somewhat, maybe. That's good enough right there. All right, let's go to the Strat computer and check out the schedules for the games tomorrow. See who's on tap. As we look at the schedule coming up, it looks like we are headed to Yankee Stadium tomorrow. Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees, Oil Can Boyd for the Red Sox against Bob Tewksbury for the Yankees. And then on Wednesday, we'll be at Comiskey Park in Chicago. It'll be the California Angels taking on the Chicago White Sox. Mike Witt taking on Floyd Bannister in that one. Minnesota and Texas is a doubleheader, so I'm going to skip that. Play those two offline. Seattle, Kansas City, I'll probably play that on Thursday. That's going to be Lee Guterman for Seattle against Brett Saber for the Royals. Then on Friday, we'll have the key matchup, which will be Toronto and Milwaukee. From Milwaukee, Jim Clancy and Juan Nieves. So the tentative schedule is Boston, New York tomorrow, California, Chicago Wednesday, Seattle, Kansas City on Thursday, and Toronto at Milwaukee will finish out the week. That's the tentative schedule on the channel for this replay on this date of Saturday, June the 27th. So the Orioles won the real game 4-2, but the Tigers turned it around on them and won the replay 4-1. So thank you all for being here on this Monday morning and following things along. Tabby's very happy because the Tigers won. So enough said on that. And that'll do it from here. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.